Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. It is September the 9th, 2023, and today the topic is intervention. Yes, it is intervention. Happy Saturday, everyone. I hope that you all had a fabulous Friday. Mine was just fine. Shout out to everybody that tuned in to the GSL talk show last night. I hope that it blessed you listening to Dr. Nelver and a little bit about her journey. Great conversation. If you missed it, all you got to do is go to godsexandlove.com. It should be our featured video. And yeah, catch up, y'all. Catch up over the GSL talk show. As y'all know, plenty of content here on GSL to peruse and let marinate on your heart, souls, and minds. Yeah, man, I guess I'm having a good little morning, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't know it, but my little guy, he's wide awake right now. And we kind of started off the day by doing the juice together. At least the beginning part of my morning routine. I listened to the prayer meditation with him. I talked to him. Well, I prayed with him as well. He's a good little prayer. I will say that about NJ. He prays, man. So to God be the glory for that. We did that and then we prayed and I got ready to study. And then of course he started thinking about other options. And so he's in there watching TV right now. Little Saturday morning TV watching. Early morning because I started this thing right at 5, so that means that the juice is coming out on time today, y'all. So to God be glory for that as well. Speaking of the little guy, man, we had a couple of cool moments yesterday. We had a movie midday situation. The little guy been talking about Chick-fil-A the past couple of days, so I ordered some Chick-fil-A for lunch yesterday, and we had a movie midday situation. After that, not long, we ended up playing this little game because they gave him like this little card game. So we played the game the way it was, but then I noticed that they gave him 2 pairs of games. So then we started playing the matching game. That's the only way I know to describe it. But you know, you lay out the cards and then you match them, and then you get the 2, you take it. You know that game. So we played that. And then after that, we colored. So we had some nice little, little calm, had a little music on, little art moment with him and whatnot. So yeah, it was some nice intentional time with our little guy yesterday. My husband was out and about having meetings and everything like that. So we praying for him and the opportunities that he's being presented with in this season and at this time. And so, yeah, that's pretty much what yesterday looked like in a nutshell. Still working on some stuff behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited about these announcements that I'm going to be telling y'all real soon. Real soon. But yeah, that's pretty much all that happened for my Friday. So let's get into this conversation. Intervention. How did I come to this morning? Well, partially by the time that I woke up. I did wake up at some time last night. I think it was like around 9 something, but the time that inspired this conversation was 1:52. I woke up at 1:52 this morning. And yeah, looking up that led me to Luke 1:52. And that got me to thinking about, I guess God and his authority. So let me read this verse to y'all so y'all can know what I'm talking about, just in case you're not familiar. Okay, so Luke 1:52, it says, he hath put down the mighty from their seats and exalted them of low degree. Now, I mean, when I came across this morning, it sounded like good news to me, because I've always felt like the underdog, and things of that nature. And I've heard definitely many prophecies talking about, switching up some things and, God raising up new people and whatnot, or the people that are willing to do the work and all this different type of stuff. And so I felt like that was another confirmation in regards to that. Definitely I've heard things about politics, but that's a whole nother conversation. Y'all can, just see that stuff as it plays out. But anywho, So it sounded like good news to me because again, as a little bit of an underdog, I'm like, I see light at the end of the tunnel. I'm like, is the Lord about to raise me up alongside of the rest of these ones, or whatever the case may be? But at the same time, I understand that could be bad news again, depending on where you are spiritually. Because you might be in a high and mighty position, but the Lord can humble us real quick to understand that, who is truly in control. And so, with that being said, I would say that again, this is the inspiration for the conversation about intervention. Um, because I guess my studies pretty much led me to understand this morning. I came across this phrase called um, divine providence. And it's ultimately just pretty much, again, just referring to um, God allowing things to work together for his ultimate purpose and good. I know that's one of the main questions that we always have, or that you always hear in regards to there being a God. It's like, well, why is there so much evil? Why do we allow so many bad things to happen to good people, quote unquote, in all of this? And hey, I can't say that I've never wondered those things as well, and everything. Now, one, we all should all humble ourselves to understand that we're not all good. This idea of being good is not even possible for us. I mean, I know that might be Pope, right? You might not like to hear that, but none of us are good, right? And that should be a humbling thing. That should be a nice little reminder, to you know, I already said humble so many times, but here it is again, to stay humble. At the end of the day, what we have is blessings, God is the standard and we are, not, we are not God, all that different type of stuff. And then we're all on the same playing field in regards to falling short of the glory of God and things like that. Um, Again, that might be Pope, but I mean, it just really depends on where you are spiritually and everything like that. Those that are, I guess, in a place of receiving spiritual meat and stuff like that, then y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? You can humbly say that, you know what, my righteousness is filthy rags. But in Christ, right, I am a new creation, and everything that he says that I am, which means that I have authority and all this different type of stuff. You could equally say both things if you spiritually I guess built to understand that. But we not all there, and I get it. But anywho, I guess I say all that to say, going back to this conversation about ultimately God raising up who he wants to and bringing down who he wants to. And so again, depending on where you are, again, that could be good news or bad news. Let's keep going with these verses. We got Daniel 2:21. It says, he changes times and seasons. He removes kings and set up kings. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to those who have understanding. So ultimately, again, it's showing us that he is in control. I know we like to think that we're in control, and yeah, we got some. Again, we do have some authority and control, but ultimately, again, all things are going to work together for the good of those that love God, as well as going to work according to his will, way, and purpose. So again, those things that we are looking at God and saying, well, why are you allowing that bad thing to happen, or whatever the case may be, it could be for the good. Like, I was reminded this morning as I was studying of Miss man, her name went away from my mind, but the lady that Miss Joni, because her organization is called Joni and Friends, and basically in her teen years she got paralyzed. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, from like the neck down, and and obviously she's still living and things like that. And if not for her being paralyzed, there would probably be no Joni and Friends, which is an organization that is, you know, um, just helping a lot of other people in the same situations and conditions. And, from giving wheelchairs to, I know, again, our church, we had I guess you would say like a little class or something like that about how to incorporate more, I guess if you would say handicapped or disabled people to use their spiritual gifts and serve and things like that. And so again, this organization would not have been if Miss Joni had not gone through what she'd gone through. And then from my understanding, there's been a movie made about her. I think maybe even a book, most likely. And then just other things. And then she paints, somehow again paralyzed from the neck down, but she's able to paint, things of that nature. And I might be wrong about the neck down, so you guys can look up Joni and Friends and learn more about Miss Joni on your own or whatnot. But it's just an example of a quote unquote bad thing ultimately being a blessing to so many other people outside of her. And so just things to think about, y'all. At the end of the day, we may not have a situation as, extreme as Miss Joni, right? But at the end of the day, we can know that, okay, man, the things that I'm going through, what the bad thing or whatever the case may be, again, like I was telling a friend of mine earlier this week, I'm like, you know what? When bad things are happening to me now, the way I look at it now is like, you know what? I'm in good company. And I feel like something is trying to distract me from, whatever the path is that God has me on. And I try my best to stay focused, and I try myself, my best to keep going and things of that nature. And that comes with, I believe, again, getting into God's word, like staying in his presence, like we was talking about yesterday. Like when you stay in God's presence and you build your spirit, man, within, then you look at those trials and tribulations of life a little bit differently. Because then that there's going to be intervention. That God is in control, and at the end of the day, again, all things work good for those that love God. So let's keep going. We got Psalm 75:7. It says, "But it is God who executes judgment, putting down one and lifting up another." So again, it is God who does these things, y'all. I know we like to think like, and again, I know it probably might be weird for people to hear. We do have power and authority and free will, but ultimately God has the overall power and authority. So we can do and make choices and decisions, but at the end of the day, again, it's all going to be a part of God's plan and purpose. I know we struggle with that idea because, again, I'm sure I've asked this question as well. Well, God, you say we got free will, but then you know everything and you're in control of everything. So then how do I still have free will? It's like, well, you do. And there's plenty of accounts in the Bible about it. I can sit here and list them, but I tell you, a better place to go to godquestions.org. And check out the article, What is Divine Providence? If you guys check that out, you guys be able to read a little bit more information about all of that. And it gives several examples of how God intervened in situations, but then at the same time, he allowed situations to play out because for the ultimate good, or the overall good, I'll put it like that. And so, there may be things we don't understand, right, while we're in the midst of it. And we're like, well, why did, for example, I know they used the example about Joseph. Why did God allow Joseph's brothers to send him away and lie to his father and all this different type of stuff, right? But we know what happened, right? We know that he got into Egypt and he came to second in command and ultimately saved the whole nation. So that's the thing. His temporary setback, or I don't know if you want to look at it as a downfall, but the temporary issue or trial or tribulation that was in his life for that one individual blessed, my understanding, thousands or millions, depending on how many people was around at that time, or whatever the case may be. So just something to think about, y'all. I mean, again, we don't like it when we go through bad things. We don't like it, when again, we face the trials and tribulations of life, but ultimately we need to understand that there's a bigger picture, a bigger puzzle that's being put together. And if you understand that you're just one piece of it, and maybe that trial or tribulation is going to get you to the next level to where you need to be, so you can bless the next however many people after you. You just never know. And I think we think a lot of times that, again, we like to think that we're an island and that what we do don't matter to anyone else or whatever the case may be, but it's not true. We're all connected, and I don't know how else to explain it, y'all. I feel like I done and I try my best to break it down. I mean, I've definitely talked about these type of things before, but honestly, again, we are all connected. And if you don't see that today, that the choices I make today is affecting whoever's listening to the sound of my voice and beyond. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Just like this may have an effect on you, whoever you are. Just imagine how much effect that you're going to have on your circle of influence. And it just goes on and on and on. Now, of course, I talk about this again, but here's the example, y'all. What I do, it matters to my family, then to my, I guess the friends, again, the circle of influence socially. It goes out into, our community. It goes out into our state, our nation, or it just goes like that, y'all. And so it's something to think about. It's something to think about, and something to, I guess, thank God for at the end of the day. Because sometimes, he has that direct intervention, and then sometimes he allows things to play out in an indirect way that still is ultimately according to his will and way and purpose. So go deeper about all this if you guys need to. I got another verse for y'all. It is Proverbs, I think. Yes. Proverbs 16:33. And it says, the lot is cast into the lap, but its every decision is from the Lord. Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. I got a Bible verse for you guys. It is Revelations 4:11. It says, thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power, for thou hast created all things, and for thy pleasure they are and were created. Friends, there you go. I mean, if I needed anything to reiterate this conversation today about intervention, there it is, the Bible verse of today. Again, I tell y'all, a lot of the times I don't even look at the Bible verse of the day until after I study whatever the Lord puts on my heart and mind to study. And so here it is, I guess, doubling down, that letting us know that God is in control. So hey, be on the lookout, y'all. Be on the lookout for look, the mighty might be falling, and those in low places might be getting raised up in this season. And I pray I'm on the right side of that conversation. I pray you are too. And yeah, this is the juice, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful weekend, and I look forward to talking to you all on Monday, the Lord's will. Bye-bye. There you go. Facebook, YouTube, Rumble. Anybody listening to the sound of my voice, I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And yeah, go deeper if you guys need to. Learn more about God's divine intervention or providence, his divine providence. And look for it, man. Look for it in your life. See if he is directly intervening in some things, or see if he's indirectly intervening in some things. Again, if you're going through a trial or tribulation, don't be discouraged, friend. At the end of the day, you are in good company. There's plenty of biblical figures, and even myself, right, who have gone through trials and tribulations of life. And at the end of the day, all those things have worked together for the good in my life, in those individuals' lives, and many others beyond us. So you're not alone. Don't be discouraged. Know that God is there, that he's in control. Yes, you have some control. You have some power and control, and you need to be held accountable for whatever your actions are and your choices and all those different things. However, understand that you are just one piece of the puzzle, and yeah, there's a big picture happening, and it's a beautiful big picture. Ultimately, God's creation and everything like that. So, all right, y'all, I'm gonna let y'all go. We're gonna see what this weekend do with me and my little guy and everything like that. I'm saying that I'm gonna get out there and maybe finally do something to my car and all kinds of stuff like that. So I'll let y'all know on Monday, look what the Lord do with me, for me, and through me. But y'all have a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to y'all then if the Lord's will. Bye.